Hello friends, this is Ganesh. Hope you're doing good. Happy to learn together. In this video, I'm going to begin a simple development, maybe 2 or 3 elements, which is coming under sap.m library. As a UI5 development, libraries plays a major role. So the begin is a library. So you need to find the library, you need to find the elements which is coming under that library. Then you have to use the properties of that element, depends on your requirement. So today we're going to see very few elements which is coming under sap.m library. So how to go and see the properties in the help like ondemand.com, and then how we can utilize the same in your web IDE tool. Okay, let's see it one by one. So here SAP UI5 ondemand.com, I already shared this link where you are able to find all the references, all the samples, design level as well as the code level. So everything over there, either you can start writing by your own by doing control space bar, or you can copy paste the code whatever is available in the particular website. And then a single alphabet represents it's a classification, meaning you need to understand a few classifications because you have a class, you have an interface, you have a namespace, you have an enum. So lot of things available. So every classification is begin with the alphabet. I will show you that. So the alphabet shows this is a class, this is an interface, this is a namespace. So that will give a clear picture about what this belongs to. Okay, and then every element, every screen element, I can say it's like label, text, input, button, table, whatever. Every element has its own base class. Okay, and every element has its properties like ID, enable or disable, mandatory, true or false, like that. It has lot of properties. Every element has its own properties. Okay, so you should be aware of what are the properties available and how to view that and what are the values on behind that property. Okay, and then borrowed class is nothing but you have a class. That class may have borrowed some other class because of other event. It's very simple, same like object oriented concept, right? So it's not enough. I need some functionality that is not enough in my class. I can do the inherit option, so I can get whatever is available over there. Kind of. So here you have an option called borrowed class. Every library or every class can have its own borrowed class, or it's optional, either yes or no. Okay, so we'll see that also, how we can identify. So these are coming from a different class, that also we are able to see now. And depreciated is nothing but same like absolute in ABAP. So don't use it. So if you use this function, it can be anything. The element can be depreciated, or the function can be depreciated, or the library can be depreciated. So there is an option they mentioned. What is the alternative for that? If the particular thing is depreciated, so what we can use it? Okay, so that also you have to understand from the library perspective. So today we are going to see these things with the help of some development also. Okay, so let's get into the system. So here this is the website which you have everything, SAP UI5 NetWeaver ondemand.com, and the most of the things which we are going to use from API reference or samples. API reference is a place where you can see all your libraries, the base, okay, all your libraries and what are the events over there, what are the classes over there, if any interface, or you can type dev. So many things are available. So everything is going to represent with an alphabet. Okay, that is API reference. Samples is nothing but the place where you can see the actual code along with how it looks like. Okay, so mostly we work with samples because we need some code for our development. So go with samples. For a better understanding, go with the API reference also. Okay, so go to API reference. So here it indicates N as a single alphabet is a namespace, and every namespace has its own class and everything. So normally we use SAP.m. So let me go here. M is also a namespace, and expand this. You will get lot under the M. So you have a class, C is a class, and you have a E for enum, and this is also this is namespace, and you have few different things, type def, and it's also a class, most of the elements you have the class, right? So these are the class, and you have interface. It's defines as I. So yeah, it's actually repeating here. It is, you have a I interface. So a lot of things are coming under one namespace. Okay, and these are the options normally we use. sap.m for main controls. For if you want to design any layout, you need UI.layout library and table UI.table. So a lot of options are currently available. It may increase as well, depends on your future need. Okay, so models, object page, a lot of things are available over here. So now, and if you go, last time we have seen as label, or you can find also, it's very simple. You can find exactly what you're looking for. And if you want to include the depreciated option also, you can select this and it will include all the depreciated, whatever is depreciated class or interface, whatever it is, it will available, and it shows the alternative also. It is depreciated, so what you can use it for your requirement. Okay, so that is the one. And samples, here also you have a classification, depends on the controls. Like if you want looking for an input level, then use this option, list or tables, pop-ups, message, styles. So many options are available, depends on your need. You can choose and go ahead, but most of the things we go with very simple way is just type it. Okay, so label, which I showed you already. So this is a label, just click it, you have the samples here. So they mentioned very clearly what is the API reference. So this is sap.m.label and the UX guideline. This will give little more information about the screen element. Just click this option. It opens in a different page and it shows clearly all these information. So what is the introduction? I mean, what about this event and what is the usage of it? So they given usage of the control. If you need a label for a control, always use label for form controls. Like if there is any forms, right, on tables, you can able to use it. And you can use a required and option fields. How it look like? If you say required is yes, okay, there is an option called property called required. So if required is yes, it shows like this. Okay, and optional edit mode shows like this, optional display mode like this. So these are some more information how you can use this particular screen element. So here you can use in the same line, or if you want in the very next line, if you want, you can use it. And styles also will help like this. So suppose if it's the address one, I don't want to display as an input field, you can display like this also. You have an option to do that also. And then you have guidelines, exceptions, and resources. Just go through it. Okay. This is a way you can understand, or you can start developing it, and then once you have a comfortable on the particular screen element, then come here and start learning it. It depends how you want to do it. Okay. Then go back here and samples extended as control, it's fine. So this is the one we have seen last video also. Go here and go here, you can able to find the relevant code. So now today we are going to add some input box, some then label, input box, checkbox, button, few things we'll try to add over there. Okay, let's get into the system now. This is my system, and this is Web IDE. So Orion is running in the backend. So SAP Web IDE, login and get into my workspace. Okay, it's already opened. So otherwise it shows like this. Then you have to choose open my workspace. It opened. So this is the last one we have used, and just a page, the title page. So it shows my first application. This is coming from so title is coming from I-118 title. So you know about this curly braces. It's nothing but it's not a hard-coded one. So the value is taken from somewhere. It may be a variable or it may be some field. It's taken from that place only. So the first one always represents the place. So here it is, I-18N. And here there is a field or a variable called title. So my first application, that's what it reflected over there. So today we are going to use, and this is my first project. Today we are going to create one more, and this is created using UI5 application. We are not using any template as of now. So create project from template, and the base SAP UI5 application. I'm not using any list or master detail, which has as a format or template. screen 1. So namespace, I'm just ignoring now. XML, yes, finish. Okay. So let me close the existing tabs. Close all. So always this comes under web app folder, and under the web app you have a view folder, and this is your view. And here you can see some default libraries are added. Two libraries are added: UI Core MEC and SAP.m. Okay, and all your designs are coming under content only. So now I want to know what are the things available. Let's start. I'm going to go do the label. So open the tag, control spacebar. So it listed all the relevant informations from different libraries. Okay, suppose and it has sap.m also. And then if you want, I want very specific from the library. So okay, what you can do is SAP Elements. So I want layout. Okay, so I'm going to give SAP dot UI dot layout. Okay. So this is alias. So it should end here. So these are little important things, especially for the ABAP, you have to notice, like where to open, where to close, case sensitive. Those things are because initially you'll try to find difficulties. Sometimes everything looks correct. If you execute, you won't get the browser is open but empty page. I will show you that also. Okay, so those are because of a small mistakes. We'll see how to rectify, how to identify that. Okay, so now I am just giving the alias name. So here it can be any name, user defined name. You can give whatever you want. And now I want to know the elements which is under the alias name, means under the library technically. Then control spacebar. It shows only that's available for SAP UI layout. So not everything. Okay, and this alias option is not applicable for sap.m. So sap.m, you are not able to add any alias, it'll give an error. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, so let me escape. What happened? Okay, yeah. So I'm going to say label. Maybe you identify label is coming in a sap.m, use API reference. So you can start working directly with label, label, and control spacebar. It's a little slow. Okay, here you go. So you have two options. Either you want kind of documentations, or if you want to see all the properties, or you can start with class. So normally we used to do this label dot, like the green one, the class label dot sap.m, and it opens, and you can say control space bar. It will give what are the options available. But my small preferences, as you are new to this, okay, I think I messed up here. 1 second. Okay, yeah. So my preference is control space bar. Use this first. Okay, it lists out, just click it. It lists out all the available properties along with the borrowed option also. So this is coming under different library. So these information, tooltip, custom data, layout data, dependence are coming in a different library. And these are coming from, these are the properties not coming from, these are properties, base properties of your screen element called label here. So now you understand what are the properties available, what all things actually you need. Maybe for the beginners, you can go ahead with this, or you can start working with directly with the label properties. Control space bar, okay, I want ID, I want required, that's it, I don't want anything else. So now I can ignore this. Visible true, by default it's true, so I don't want to make it visible. So standard design, what is that text? Text is material. Text alignment, okay. Inherit text direction, you can say control space bar. So left to right, right to left options available. I just make use of it. Just an example, okay. So what is the width? Maybe I can say I want 20% to be covered. Required, okay. Maybe I can say true. So here, this is very important. Even the value also case sensitive. If you say it's true, let's see what happens, okay. So true, capital T, let's see what is that. Display only false, okay. I don't want these things now. So make sure while deleting, you delete exactly, means that without affecting the closing tag. That is very important. Okay, and these are not required now, so I can select, right click, toggle block command. So line by line, if you want to use toggle line command, or block, just use block. Okay. Yeah, that's a problem. Okay, because this has the closing tag, so it's not exactly doing the block here, block level command. Let me take it out. That is one issue. And let me go ahead with line command. So each line is going to comment. That's fine. Anyway, I just need to be commented. Okay. Save it. I didn't add anything. Let's see how it's look like. Refresh, sorry, run it. That's good. So now this is the issue. Some people are addressing it. It doesn't look like anything is loading here, right? Its web browser is open, but it's empty. Let's see what might be the issue. I have ID, material, begin, text align, everything. Required is this one true, and execute. Label material true, I believe. Okay, there are some difference here. You can see these are black. It should not be. Okay, either let me delete this, or you can delete it. Okay, if so, don't spend much time on it. Let's see. Either you can delete also. If it is not working, I'm going to delete that. Okay, because somewhere the way I commented is not correct. Delete. Save it. Okay, you can do a refresh also. Yes. Okay. So this is the way. The problem is you're not able to. It's because from ABAP perspective, if you check, you listed all the issues right before activating. But this is not like that. So you need some patience to do the development over here. Okay. So here true, you can see some green. Sorry. Some red color star. So if you say false, okay, I can say T as a caps true. Okay, and execute it. Yeah. Anyway, it's not recognized, but it's not coming here. Even though if you mention true, the star is not appearing because it's case sensitive. Okay. So make sure these things, maybe initially it's tough, but going forward is very simple for you. So go here and refresh. You're getting it. Okay. So this is a way to start developing with any UI elements or any UI screen elements. Normally it's look like this, right? Everything in one line. Because I use the first option, that's the reason everything is listed line by line. Otherwise, it's like this. Sorry, taking more time. Okay, so now I'm going to add one more. Okay, one more option is if it is simple screen elements, they call it a simple screen elements. It doesn't have anything nested, right? It's called a simple screen elements. So there you have option is you don't want to use the close tag like this. Instead, at the end of your element, you can use this just a slash. So you can remove this. It work the same. Okay. So how you can say the work area and it's the rental system. It's always used to come like that. The work area and the table name is same. You don't want to mention select start from Mara into Mara. Same thing. Okay. So different syntax. I think I'm not able to proceed. Yeah, I'm getting this. Let me refresh my screen. It's common. Okay. Oh, the last one is missing. That's fine. So now let me rearrange it. And one more is, if suppose I'm giving label L in small, normally this aggregation property, this is called aggregation property. We'll see a little more technical later. So this is called aggregation property. Aggregation is nothing but it depends on some other tag. Very simple. Okay. So Now, if you have the cursor over here, they mention very clearly the aggregation node for control is incorrect. Okay, the aggregation node for the contacts, the above one, line number 8 is incorrect. So that what the message says. Okay, it's fine. We can able to correct it. Suppose I'm giving a spelling mistake. Okay, so LA, this is a spelling mistake of the screen element, right? Save it and execute it. The browser opens, but it's empty. Okay, so these are not able to, by default, these are not going to find the spelling mistake, but there are some application which especially used for check the spelling, so we'll see quite later. Okay, so whenever you find a page opens with the empty, there are a lot of options available. Why? Sorry, there are a lot of options. It may be an issue of the spelling mistake or the camel case or whatever it is. Just try to go smaller things, and once you start working it, just go with few screen elements instead of copy paste the 100 lines of code in your development and try to find why it is not coming. There may be a mistake. Mostly copy paste it won't problem if you do from the netviewerondemand.com, but sometimes yes, so please go one by one. Okay, so label, save it and go and refresh. It works. Okay, so now I'm going to have another element called input. Okay, so the same thing you can give. So if you want, just select it. Sorry. Okay, without space, control space bar. So where you want, like want this? Yes. If you want from the everything, if you want, just select it. You will come to know whatever is required. Or you can say, I want only ID and other stuff. So you can make it. So ID L1 and type busy false visible true. Okay. So width I can give like 40%. Okay, enable true name. That's it. And maximum date format. So I'm not going to use much on now. Okay, just delete. It has more. That's fine. Delete, and these are borrowed ones. Okay. Delete, 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 delete. Okay. So just with an ID, I'm using it. Okay. So here it's not in the color because the tag is not closed. Either you can close like this or directly you can close like this also. Okay. There are some issues. What's the issue? Control ID is the same or the control ID. Okay, sorry. The names are unique. The name should be unique. ID name should be unique. IN, okay, label one L1 and IN1. Okay. Save it. Go here. Refresh. So you're getting input box here. Okay, and if you want, you can change this also. Like I want only 10%. Save it. Go here. Refresh. It's got changed. Okay, and some technical or prerequisite I can say, if there is a label, we always mention label is for which element. So it's for label for the property is label for. So label for, you can give whatever ID you have given, the below one you have to give that. So IN1. Oops, sorry. It's a remote system, so things are happening. Here it is. Label for IN1. Okay, so this is my input. Let me have it in the same line. So we have seen two screen elements. Let me do for button. So here I used the closed tag over here or closed tag with the proper closed screen element also. Both way it works. So button, I'm going to get it from the ondemand.com. So I'm going to copy the code and keep it here. Okay. Let's do this. Okay. So here I need button. So here it's action button. So here I'm going to have screen elements in place. I'm not going to write any code for action or triggering event. So only display, only the design level I'm doing in this video. Okay. So go to the button option. So there are few different buttons are showing here. That's fine. Let me go to the code level. So here, now you can at least understand the tags, the screen elements, or I can say technically aggregation properties, right? So you have a page, you have a title, class, custom header, toolbar, everything is there, just ignore it. But I need the code for a button. So I hope this works. This piece of code is fine for me. Copy it, go to your code and paste it. Okay, so nothing much, so no issues. I just copied and pasted here. What happened? Oh man, come on. Okay, so I need to refresh it. Just give me a minute. Okay, and then either refresh or just trigger one more time, run one more time. So you have a button here. Okay, so button, the type I have mentioned is a back. So you can have an option to change it. So go here, control space bar. So you can have accept, default, emphasize, reject, transparent. I think you have something else also, submit. Okay, so here it's accept. Okay, let's go with accept. And I can give title also, or title or text equal submit. Okay, save it, go here and refresh like this. Okay, so I have one more button that takes some icon from a different library. So we'll see how it works. In the same example, I have a button option, but the icon is there. They get it from a different place. We'll see quite later. But I want this option. I want icon. I want type, press. I think I don't want label, delay by something. Okay, let me just have it. We'll see how it looks like. Okay, I just pasted it. I didn't add anything else because it's directly taken from that library area. So just execute it. So you will get this. Okay, so nothing will happen because I didn't write any code for this action or for this button. So this icon is coming from SAP icon. Okay, so that is for button. Let's have few more like checkbox. We can add it. Let's see. So here I can say checkbox. Okay, checkboxes. So different forms of checkboxes are available. So let's see how the code for this one. So these are the options. So I'm saying forget about these things, and the aggregation property is checkbox without any allies. So it's coming under sap.m library only. So I'm going to copy everything. Copy this. So go here and paste it. Save it. Yeah, few options, or I believe I have find the same. The property even name does not exist for the controller. Probably the version, it depends. So either you can change the property partially selected. Okay, so only that property is not available. Depends on how your the version depends on the version. It shows like this. So here also information string expected the value. Okay, I will do one thing. I'm not going to dig much on now. Just save it and execute it. So I have a checkbox. Okay, and they have added a property called VBox. Maybe you have noticed it. I'm going to add that also. Means vertical box. So I want that. I think V is capital. Should be. And cut it, paste it here. Okay, save it and go to the browser and refresh. So it's like this. Okay, so the idea of this particular video is how to design your input screen based on the system requirement. Sorry, based on the business requirement. Okay, so just play around because that is very important. UI is mostly for screen level design. Forget about how they get the data and everything in OData service. So those are different area, and how the values are coming from OData service. It's quite simple. Now we are hard coding everything. In once the OData is connected to your project, we are going to have like this. So instead of this, I'm going to give the OData service field name, entity set field name. So that I'm going to make sure the OData service is connected, and I have captured everything from the corresponding entity set. And then what is the name, what is the field name of the entity set to be displayed, to be mapped with the screen element, I'm going to do the mapping. So same thing, instead of I want the label to be also captured from the OData service. This is not going to be the hard-coded one. This is going to be within the curly braces. It's going to be your field name. That's OData service field name. Okay, so that is pretty simple. I can say that is like 20 to 30% of the concentration on mapping with the backend system, but mostly with front end. So just play around whatever you need from the ondemand.com and just copy it, paste it here. Make sure you are getting the screen. Okay, that is very important. One last thing is the label property. So these are a little different compared to ABAP perspective. So far, whatever we have like checkbox, button, input, label, everything is in our ABAP itself. But here you have a lot of screen elements are available in UI5. It's not because in ABAP we have very limited. If you open SE51, you can see hardly 15 to 20 screen elements like option button, checkboxes, button, or table control, wizard, subscreen, then that's it. But this is a UI5, it's going to be ideally 100 plus screen elements are available. So we are going to learn new things and how we are going to use it in our development. So I'm trying to use this option. This is new compared to ABAP. So go here, display only, right? And here is a label, display only. They are saying called switch state. There is another one. It's fine. Let's see how it displays. Switch state is the one of the property over here, or one of the aggregation element. I can say same like label. They have an option called switch. So let me copy this and go here. Okay, after the VBox. Okay, before the VBox, I'm going to keep it. Okay, save it. And if I, yes, you have option on off. Okay, but there is no code related to this on off option, but you're able to do it. And the same thing you have to make it for date picker. That is a very commonly used one. So here you can mention date type, yeah, date picker option. So I want to display the date in my input screen. So it's look like this. So simple date picker or date picker with long format information, everything. So let me just see the code, at least have one simple date picker. Over here, label, okay, date picker, ID, enter date, okay, whatever it is. I'm going to simply call this, just copy this, okay. And so go here and keep it. Date picker, ID, placeholder, change, handle change. What I can do is, I'm not sure about these things, right? You can ignore, means you can delete also. Okay, but I want at least the date picker to be visible in my screen. Slowly, we are going to learn what are the other properties to make some code on this particular date picker option. So here, this is a date picker. Maybe it's a little bigger. So maybe we can have an option for property to just decrease the one. So like this, yeah, it worked. So this is the very basic beginning of an ABAPer to get into the UI5 area, development area, and make sure whatever you are keeping inside your code, that is visible in the browser. So that is the, I can say, first success of your UI5 development learning process. So just play around with this, and going forward, we are going to concentrate more on different screen elements, and obviously we are going to add OData service as well. So now we have a full system, so we can have design a CDS, OData, and we can come and see how it reflects in the UI screen as well. Okay, so hope this might be worth for you. Just play around. If you have any doubt on this, please let me know. See you in the next video. Bye. And thank you so much for your time.